I wanted to point out two changes we've made to existing functionality. The first change we've made is to piece reposition. So if I take this model we have on the screen and I'll hide the skull and then just zoom in up around the plate and the bracket. Now most people are completely used to, when we're zooming and panning in freeform, especially with very heavy models, we'll drop down into this sparse mode, and then as soon as we let go of the G key or the H key, the model will redraw itself in full detail. Now with piece reposition, the way it used to work is as soon as we were moving a piece around, it would keep itself in fully shaded mode all the time, and for very heavy pieces often you would get a very jagged motion, you wouldn't have a very smooth motion. Well, we've done a change now that it will automatically drop itself down into sparse mode when doing these gross movements in piece reposition, and if you hold the shift key to go to precise movement, it'll maintain a fully shaded mode for complete accuracy. Now it may take a couple of seconds to dump the whole model into the graphics card memory, so if I try moving this one again, you see that the first few seconds it can be fairly jagged, and then once the graphics card memory has fully absorbed the model, all of a sudden everything speeds up and it becomes a lot more interactive. So that's just one thing to be aware of. So that's one of the changes. Another change we've made is in how the model rotates when using the arrow keys on the keyboard. What we have on the screen right now are two of these diamond shaped brackets with 4 screws in the top bracket, and then down here we're showing the global coordinate system. For this top bracket, which is currently active, if I show where the local coordinate system is, you can see that it's right in the middle of that piece. Now, if I bring up the options, and under setup we have some new options here for view rotation center, global origin, active piece origin, or the bounding box center of all visible objects. Right now we're set to global origin. So when I use the arrow keys, and right now my arrow keys are set to 15 degrees, as I rotate, you can see it's rotating around the center of the global origin. If I move that to the active piece origin, and this piece at the top, the piece of that origin is pretty much right in the middle. So now you can see it's rotating around the active piece origin. And if I zoom in, it still rotates nicely around the active piece origin. If I went back to rotating around the global origin, and now use the arrow keys, you can see how we have a different behavior. And if I activated one of these screws and really zoomed in, right now we're still set around the global origin, and hit the rotate, you can see how it rotates off the screen. Whereas if I put it back to active piece center and now do my rotation, everything stays nicely on the screen. And then we also have the option to go to the bounding box center of all visible objects. So if we activate that and see how it behaves, again it rotates off the screen. So we have those 3 new options. Choose which one is best suited to the situation you're at, and you should be much happier with how your model is rotating on the screen, especially when zoomed in like this.